Well, Austin, I want to thank you for joining us, and just tell me a little bit about how you became a Christian and the real men in your life that helped influence you to follow the Lord.
Right, it's definitely been a journey. Started, going, I was a kid who was raised around the church. My mother, we go to St. Paul Lutheran in Ames. It's a Missouri Synod Lutheran church, which my grandpa raised me in and all that stuff. So I was around the church quite a bit, but, as a kid, you just go, That was kind of what it was, and, I was taught the importance in Sunday school and all that stuff, but, as a rambunctious kid as I was, wanting to be outside and playing all the time, it was definitely one of those things that, it grew on you. So I would go with my mom, and, I understood that, God was the reason we were here and all that great stuff, and, just wanted to dig deeper and more into that, and through high school, even then, just really trying to find myself as a Christian, my identity, and it was tough, just because, in high school, we had an FCA chapter at Ames High, but it wasn't too big, so a lot of people didn't attend to it. And I look back at that now, I wish I would have gone and done that stuff, but, I really needed someone in my life to help me, get to that point. So, and when I got to college, it kind of changed for me. Originally with Coach McCartney, we had Pastor David Staff, who was at E-Free in Ames, and he was our team chaplain and a guy who really had an influence in my life early in college, who, led me to the Lord. And we have, team chaplain every Sunday, and, involuntary stuff you could go to with him one-on-one and do a Bible study and whatnot. And around this time too, I also found a Bible study group that I'd go to with most of the football players on the team, with Tom Greenwald, who's a doctor at McFarland Clinic in Ames, who's always been around and helped us. And I've been going to his house on Wednesday nights for the past 5 years. And his wife Allison makes a great dessert for us. And then
awesome.
We, get into the Word and break it down a little bit. And another person who was influential in my life when he got here with Coach Shizik's staff was Kevin Likens, who has been a huge, role model for FCA in Iowa, and coming from Texas, and just a huge impact on a lot of these guys on the team, helping them find their way, just coming from different backgrounds, and having fellowship is crucial for those guys. But, in my journey as far as that goes, with those guys helping me, fellowship has always been the greatest thing for me, being around my teammates and helping them, come to me with questions, and we all pray about it and go to God about it. And the one thing that I learned most important about college football, and early in my career didn't really realize this, is that you can play for these coaches and play for everyone plays for glory, plays for money, plays for women, other things like that, things that would kind of hinder their performance. But if you just leave it up to God and play for Him, that was you play for God and play for His glory. That's what I realized, about my sophomore year in college, that it's not about me. It's not about Jack Trice Stadium out here. It's not about the fans in the section. Of course, they help out a lot, but it's really, giving it all up to God and letting Him, kind of steer the course and steer the ships, so to speak. And just with my fellow teammates, a couple guys, Mike O'Connell, Andrew Mitchell's guys that have been around me and helped me, with temptations and helped me with being a real man and going to the Lord and confessing my sins, and no one's perfect, and we all know that, but coming clean with God and being able to glorify Him in the way that we do on Saturdays was a great experience, and something I'll cherish for the rest of my life.
That's awesome. Tell me, what's being a real man, being a Christian in your arena, in the sports arena? Tell me just the struggles. What is it? What are the challenges, I guess, that you face trying to maintain authentic manhood?
Right. It's tough. It can be compromising at times. You have guys on the team who don't believe and don't follow, and as a guy, I would try and help guys who look like they they're far from home, they're homesick. Help them and lead them to maybe not fully believing, but help them to know God, and you got to know Him first before you fully dive in. And some of these guys have no previous background of Christ education or anything. So, and just out here on the field, everyone knows there's trash talk that goes around, and you just try and rise above it. But there's quite a bit that goes on, and there's I'm not saying I'm a model football player at all, but there's been times where I've talked as well. It's temptation, and it's hard not to. But like I said, when I try and glorify God and play in His name, I just let my play speak for itself, and let His blessings from me speak for itself. And it's a struggle in that locker room. Like I said, there's a lot of guys that will can go either way, but I feel like being good to people and being kind is kind of getting you on getting them on your side. And then when that's accomplished, being able to talk to them in one-on-one capacities and being able to lead them to, you know, different things, you know, including the Lord and God work, and helping them become a better person is a big payoff for the guys in that locker room.
Well, what would you say to a group of guys sitting in Des Moines in the middle of February that you would want them to take away? Say, this is the encouragement I want to give to you about being a real man, where you're at, where God's planted you. What would you say to them?
The encouragement is just, you know, being yourself. You know, don't let other people influence you. Don't let other people's actions or what your friends are doing on a weekend influence you. I mean, you have to, you know, when it comes down to it, at the end of the day, it's your life, it's your body. You need to take care of it, and, you know, your body is your temple, and the Lord, you know, the Lord God is our temple. So confiding in Him and you know, going with Him for questions, prayer. You know, many times in my life I've gone to God and you know, asking, you know, Lord, you know, show me the way. You know, show me what I'm supposed to do here. And you know, you wake up refreshed and you step out and you're like, wow, you know, this is really, you know, like He's talking to me. You know, this is set up in this way, so it's supposed to happen this way. And things I do, I'm a huge believer in things happen for a reason. You know, especially with my knee and the injury. I tore my ACL and MCL, so, you know, a detrimental injury, and those are one of those injuries that you come back and sometimes you can't play after it. So I'm about, tomorrow is a Tuesday, so I'll be 8 weeks ago that I had surgery, and I'm healing fast and feeling better every day. So, you know, when things like that happen, you know, I just know it's the Lord who takes care of me and is looking out for me, because we have pro day in March, and I'll be able to throw for that and hopefully be able to run a little bit and hopefully be full bore, full go by mid-April, and, you know, hopefully have a shot to play in the NFL or, you know, a professional football of some capacity. And if that doesn't work out, I'd like to, you know, be a coach. And, you know, what I can say is just be yourself and don't let other people influence you. You need to find your own path. You know, don't be a follower, be a leader. That's what I try and teach these guys that, you know, are the young guys in the locker room, is not to follow but to lead, and lead by example. And that's, you know, one of the things that's tough for a lot of guys to do, but if they can do it, you know, it leads to bigger and better things.
You got a life verse from Scripture that really kind of guides you?
Yeah, actually, you know, my body is my temple, but I do have a tattoo that, you know, 1 Thessalonians 3:13. It's you know, never grow weary in doing good, and I like to live my life by that, just by treating people how I'd want to be treated. And you know, I have an abundance of friends just because of that, because I you know, treat people in a good respect, and they, you know, respect me in the way back. And, you know, it's just, you know, good to be good to people, in the same sense, you know,
Actually
God
saw
is
that
good.
on your Twitter profile.
Yeah.
So that was cool.